Howdy-ho stampers, Deb Valder here, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here to show you how to do this window shelf card. It's a very fast, very elegant way to do a card, but it's got this unique little window in between. You see there's this piece of window sheet right here, and when you open it up your card is full on the inside, but it just has this adorable little window here. I did one also for my last stamp camp, and this is what I did here, and I actually stamped on the window sheet, so when you open it up, it has just this where you can put your message on the inside. But here's this little peekaboo window right here. It's done with the window sheet. So let's get started, and I'll show you how to make this black one, because this is my favorite. I think it's just a very elegant card. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to cut this piece out. So if you take your cutter, and I use my Stampin' Up! Trimmer, if you take your trimmer and you take your card base, the first thing that we're going to do is cut off 1 inch from the bottom. So we're just going to take it, line it up with our 1 inch mark right here, and then just cut it off. Alright, now what I need to do is I need to cut off 2 inches from this piece right here. So I'm going to slide it back in there from the same side, not this side. This is the side we haven't touched, but this is the side I cut 1 inch off, and now I'm going to cut off 2 more inches. Alright, this piece right here you can use for scrap paper. It's no good. We're not going to use it anymore on this card. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take and put our window sheet in. Now my window sheet is 4 1/4 by 3 inches. And what I like to do is to put some snail adhesive on it. You can use any adhesive you want, but I use my snail adhesive. What I need to do is I need to get that snail adhesive very close to the edge here, because that's where our window sheet is going to land. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my silicone mat, which I always use, and I'm going to take my adhesive, and I'm just going to keep it close to the edge right here. And with my silicone mat, it doesn't go off, so I'm not afraid to glue close to the edge. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add my window sheet. Oops, let's make sure the whole piece of snail is covered. Alright, so from side to side I'm just going to add my window sheet. Now that's going to bring it down a ways. Alright, so we have some room to grow here. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 1 inch piece that I cut off, and I'm going to put some snail right on the end of it. Don't put your snail in the middle, or you're going to end up gluing your card shut. So I just, again, put it on the edge. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece and you're going to line it up with the bottom, and you've got your snail on the other side. Okay, so let's get it nice and even. And when it's even, you're just going to take and mat it down. Now we have our window card. Didn't I tell you this was as fast can be? So now what we're going to do is we're going to take and put our inside piece in. So I'm going to open it up, and I'm just going to take a 4 by 5 1/4 inch sheet of cardstock. I'm going to add my snail to it and just adhere it into my card. Now you don't have to do this if you're afraid to stamp. You can always, we always stamp on the other side if we've made a mistake, but I'm going to just show you how I do it. Now what I need to know is the distance of where this window is. So I want to know where to put my stamp. So what I like to do is to just put, I don't know if you can see this or not, I put a little tick mark with a pencil here and here. That's where my window sheet is. So now I know exactly where to stamp. So let me just go through and put a little tick mark, and we'll just erase those afterwards. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp with my, I'm just going to hold it down with that, I'm going to stamp with my stamp, and I'm using Vivid Vases. Now Vivid Vases is just a one stamp with the words and the stamp on the same block. But what I like to do with things like this is to cut off the words and either put them on the side or put them on another piece of wood. So here's my stamp, and I cut off, you can see where I cut off the words. I could have put the words on the side, which is what I used to do in the old days, but I just happened to have a block of wood, so I just cut it off. I cut off the words too, and I just put them on 2 separate ones. So instead of having 1 stamp, I have 2 stamps. And now I feel like it's more versatile. I can use it for just about anything without having to just ink it up with a marker. So I'm going to take my Stays On ink, and I'm going to ink my stamp up, and then just stamp it in between my two lines. And here are my two lines right here. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and stamp. All right, and then what we do is check and see, and it came out beautiful. Okay, and then what I'll take and do is my words. I'm just going to ink up my words and stamp them up here on top. Okay, so there's my words, and then what we're going to do is I took some pieces and decorated them. Let me just show you. Can you see the texture in there? That's our new Arrows Textured Impressions Embossing folder. It's one of my favorites out of the new catalog. So what I did was, let me put my stays on top on here. So what I did was I just took, my top layers are 4 by 2 1/4, and the bottom one is 4 by 3 1/4. I ran them through the Big Shot, and we're just going to add those to the bottom. Okay, so that would be these pieces right here. I just added those to the bottom. And then I needed to make my bow. Now I've done this in a previous video, but I'm going to show you real quick because it is just that, very, very quick. Let me just show you what I did here. I took a piece of cardstock, and this is our Neutrals Designer Series paper, and it is 7 1/8 by 1 inches long. Now you can make this as big or as fat or as little as you want to. This one just happens to fit perfectly onto my card. Now the first thing that I'm going to do is make my ends. So right here, I'm going to center it. Here's my oval. I'm going to center this in between the oval from side to side. And what I do, because this is one that I use all the time, I just put a little tick mark there so that I know that that is just what I need to do. And you see how it makes that little indentation? That's the end of our little bow. And then there's that one. Now what I need to do is make the bow itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to 1 1/2 and punch. And then I'm going to go over to 3 1/2 and punch. And then I'm going to turn it and do 1 1/2 again, so that each one of these right here, these two are the same, and this one is actually right in the middle. All right, so whatever bow you're doing, you want to get the middle one, and then decide how fat you want your bow, and then these two are the exact same measurement. Now we have to do the exact same thing on the other side. So I'm going to go to 1 1/2, and I'm going to punch. I'm going to go to 3 1/2, and I'm going to punch, and then I'm going to switch it over to 1 1/2 again, and punch. Now the best way to put this together, I think, is with our mini glue dots. And I also take my little bone folder here, and I like to just curve these right here. Just not too hard, because you don't want to rip these apart. I've done that before. You just want to curve these just a little bit, and then what you're going to do, aren't these the cutest little things? Okay, so then what you're going to do is take 2 mini glue dots. So I just take my mini glue dots, and I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm going to put them on either side, right here, and right here. So let me just show you what I did. I put a mini glue dot here and here, all right? And then what you're going to do is you're just going to bend this around so that these line up. And that's what I do first. I just line these up just perfect, just like this. You see how they're nice and lined up? And then I just fold this one back, just like that. You see how I did that? And then this one is going to get wrapped around. Don't worry about the tail yet. Let's just get this nice and even right here. Nice and even, and then press it back, just like that. Okay? So there's my bow. That's going to go right on the top right here. Okay, so let's take and put our textured pieces on here. And this one goes on the top, just like this. And what's nice about this is you can do it upside down, right side up, and it just looks so pretty no matter what way you put it. So there's my top piece. Here is my bottom piece. And now we're ready to put our bow together. Okay, so there's that one. I'm going to take this right here. I'm going to add a mini glue dot to the back of it. Just right here to the back of it. And then I'm going to put it on here. Now see how fast this is? And then I'm going to take my pearls, and what I did was I took the big pearls, I took my Sharpie marker and just colored it, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and grab it off and put it on the center. And there you go. That is how fast the card, I got glue dots all over me, and that's how fast the card is. Isn't that adorable? And again, here's the other one that I did. You can do them, you know, any way that you want to. This one has the new scallop folder on it. I just put another bow. This one has the little dahlias. And again, the one I did on this one has black stays on the outside, actually on the window. So that's the inside to both of these. So I hope you liked my post. Stop back soon and have a great day.